Morosa initially displayed the mysteries of destruction's origin with great patience, but as time passed he became somewhat astonished. How long have I been displaying this? 30,000 days? Why hasn't my master allowed me to rest yet? 50,000 days. 100,000 days, 200,000 days, 1,000,000 days. Unable to hold back, Morosa finally spoke. Master, may I stop now? Divine power surfaced around Luo Feng as he repeatedly tried to transform it. He looked up at the 6 branches of the destruction origin, now resembling a dark black hole. Has it been that long and you're impatient with your cultivation already? Morosa could only keep silent. Luo Feng studied the 6 branches of destruction that constructed the realms, his understanding deepening. He faintly perceived the fusion of 2 branches into pairs, forming a stable triadic foundation. A triadic foundation stabilizing the world. Luo Feng then waved his hand and sliced open particles from the material of a golden scale beetle's corpse. Inside each particle, 9 smaller particles divided into 3 parts were rotating and chasing each other. Each of these parts consisted of 3 particles fusing together. There were many commonalities between the triadic foundation of Morosa's realm and the fusion of these 3 particles. Following his intuition, Luo Feng repeatedly transformed into the trinity forms he envisioned. With the aid of the primordial crystal spirit fruit, Luo Feng was in excellent condition, seizing every spark of inspiration, attempting over and over. Though each attempt failed, it allowed Luo Feng to accumulate experience. With each attempt he edged closer to success. Finally, swoosh. With a casual wave of his hand, Luo Feng's divine power transformed, forming 3 mutually intermingling particles. These 3 particles, like a tripod standing firm yet subtly blending into one another, also had an intermingled core. Secret patterns infused deep within the particles, carrying essences of both life and destruction. It's done. Luo Feng knew instantly that he had succeeded the moment he made the transformation, guided by an indistinct feeling. He was naturally filled with joy. Master, have you succeeded? Morosa also sensed Luo Feng's intense joy. Let's verify it first, Luo Feng said. He waved his hand and created tens of millions of particles, then billions. Soon he reached the extreme state of 1,080,000,000,000 particles. Each trio of particles merged into one entity, amounting to 36 billion entities. 1,080,000,000,000 particles converged into a black river that appeared before Luo Feng. Merely a single black river contained a might that amazed Luo Feng. It's finally done. Luo Feng could feel that it was a force more powerful than many at the pinnacle of the Primal Chaos Realm. Each black river was like a perfect Primal Chaos layer creature. Perfect Primal Chaos layer creatures, even with average intelligence and weaker moves, could match the strength of those at the pinnacle of the Primal Chaos Realm in terms of bodily strength. Master, may I stop now? Morosa ventured cautiously. I don't need your help anymore. Luo Feng was intently changing his divine power, easily creating hundreds of millions of fused particles, and as time went on, the number of particles he transformed each time continued to increase. Let me take a look, said Morosa curiously, watching from the side. Black rivers after black rivers took shape. Towards the end, in just a few breaths, Luo Feng formed a complete black river. After transforming 100 billion black rivers, Luo Feng finally stopped. This black river form places a heavy burden on the soul. Luo Feng felt that as he controlled more and more black river forms, the burden on his soul grew heavier. Even though he had a perfect divine body and was at the 2nd realm of godly king spiritual will, and possessed the Yuan technique to safeguard his soul, controlling 100 billion black river forms still seemed to expend over half of his spiritual will. To wield such a powerful physical body, one needed a soul that was equally strong. With my soul, with my spiritual will, just controlling the physical body, I already feel the pressure. Luo Feng realized how astoundingly powerful his body had become at this moment. One black river, in terms of bodily strength, was even stronger than those who specialized in the physical body at the pinnacle of the Primal Chaos Realm. How powerful must 100 billion black rivers be? It was normal for Luo Feng to feel the pressure. Master, you? Morosa looked at his master with some astonishment. At this moment, Luo Feng's 100 billion black river forces had united, and his mere presence naturally affected the surrounding world. The rules in the vast vicinity naturally revolved around Luo Feng as the center, with even the supreme rules momentarily yielding. Every godly king who mastered a branch of the Great Tao could influence their immediate surroundings to some extent. Yet Luo Feng hadn't mastered a branch of the Great Tao. His sheer terrifying physical presence alone altered the surrounding rules. What's wrong with me? Luo Feng looked at Morosa. Morosa, looking at Luo Feng, felt the pressure too. As a sector beast who stepped into the godly king level, Morosa had mastered all 6 branches of destruction, experienced a 100-fold metamorphosis of divine power, and his life form was rapidly growing. His power was soaring to an extraordinarily high standard within the 1st realm of godly kings. The current Luo Feng gave him the impression that their strengths were closely matched. Transcendents of the Primal Chaos Realm can be this powerful? Morosa realized at this moment that the natural talent of a sector beast didn't mean it was the strongest at the same level. You go out first. I need to focus on comprehending, Luo Feng thought, and he sent Morosa to his own space layer. Luo Feng began his research. My Trinity state is a part of the 10 Directions world form, which is made of the material from the golden scale beetle's corpse and also draws on some of the essence from Morosa's sector form, combined with the guidance from the life body chapter in the first calamity of the 8 tribulations life form, I finally cultivated it, thought Luo Feng to himself. This form shall be called Black River form. Just as he had cultivated it, Luo Feng could feel the many special characteristics of this form. Every Black River had extremely strong life spirituality, and each could exist independently. This could be considered a kind of clone technique as well. Having completely mastered the lineage of life spirituality, which can master the clone technique, the power in oneself contains extremely strong spirituality that can separate part of its power to exist independently. Now, every Black River could exist independently. If I wish, could I have 100 billion avatars? Luo Feng laughed to himself. Of course he would not do that. The more the power was divided, the weaker it would be. With 100 billion Black Rivers converging into one, it would be very difficult for enemies to harm oneself. But if completely separated, some powerful enemies could easily sweep through all the weaker avatars by manipulating causality. My clone technique involves separating a part of my own power. Yen Su's clone technique, on the other hand, is about cultivating another complete avatar, reflected Luo Feng inwardly. Different paths truly lead to different outcomes. This Black River form can even form a world of its own. Luo Feng looked around. Even with all his power completely retracted, he could still affect the heavens and the earth all around as if a domain. The Black River could even merge into the domain, forming a world of its own. Buzz. In the blink of an eye, a black world appeared within this layer of space inside the Star Tower, with Luo Feng standing at the center of this vast black world. This black world is different from the galaxy forms cage I used to create, which was formed by the intertwining layers of galaxy threads. This Black River world. I used the power of 1 billion Black Rivers to truly construct a world that blocks inside and outside, and even isolates some effects of causality, thought Luo Feng. 2 of Luo Feng's avatars left the Star Tower, heading towards Chu Capital and Huyang City respectively. Whoosh. Luo Feng, like a streak of black light, traveled through the world at an extremely fast speed towards Chu Capital. Only the Trinity state counts as a godly king level move, realized Luo Feng in this moment. Like the previous yin-yang particle state, a pinnacle of Primal Chaos Realm that cultivates both life origin Great Tao and matter origin Great Tao, after paying a sufficient price and breaking through numerous thresholds, there's a chance to cultivate it. But even if one manages to cultivate it, the godly body, soul, and spiritual will are all far inferior to Luo Feng's. The units they transform into in the yin-yang particle state are much fewer than Luo Feng's. With a weaker soul and spiritual will, they can also control fewer units. The Trinity state typically requires the life origin Great Tao to reach the godly king level, allowing for relatively easy mastery. It also needs a very high realm in matter origin Great Tao to carry out matter transformation. The more complex the transformation target, the higher the requirements for the realm of material transformation. But Luo Feng's formless and intangible ability belongs exclusively to the perfect divine body. As long as one thoroughly researches all the mysteries of matter's composition, one can directly transform. My moves now genuinely have a godly king level realm, mused Luo Feng. People like Lord of Yuan Xiao Mansion, Great Saint by Yuan, and Yen Su, each one of them had unfathomably mysterious moves, comparable to godly king level. Previously, Luo Feng relied purely on his perfect divine body and powerful spiritual will to exhibit such power with the yin-yang particle transformation method. Yet when engaging with opponents, Luo Feng always appeared clumsy. But now with the Black River form, many of his techniques have qualitatively changed. Whoosh. This avatar of Luo Feng quietly returned to Chu Capital and to his own cave mansion. From now on, this avatar will reside in Chu Capital, Luo Feng thought. This avatar was comprised of 100 million Black Rivers and it also contained a reserve of divine power. It's worth noting that when Luo Feng employed the blade technique of Great Tao of Destruction origin for long-range attacks, using several 100,000 blade lights was his limit. 100 million Black Rivers, whether in close combat or long-range attacks, would be formidable. In Yu Kingdom, Huyang City. Luo Feng's other avatar, also formed from 100 million Black Rivers and containing a reserve of divine power. This is my city. Luo Feng looked at Huyang City. A part of me will also reside here in the future. Whoosh. This avatar of Luo Feng instantly arrived at the city owner's mansion and retracted the divine power incarnation that was there. City Lord. The servants within the city owner's mansion all greeted respectfully, unable to differentiate between the divine power incarnation and the powerful avatar with their vision. One avatar alone has the strength close to that of a strong practitioner in the first realm of a godly king. Luo Feng stood on a pavilion in the city owner's mansion, looking over the entire Huyang city. In various aspects, my techniques are finally close to those ancient existences. The first realm of godly king, for those who have just entered, have relatively ordinary strength. Luo Feng's previous yin-yang particle state could compete with them, and transcendent ones of Primal Chaos Realm also dared to fight these ordinary godly kings. But those with deep accumulations who mastered several branches of the Daos and cultivated powerful inheritances successfully, had increasingly unfathomable and unpredictable methods. Like Morosa, who only needed to see the opponent once to conduct a long-range curse killing, or the ancestral god of the Snow Realm who, despite being a great demon in the first realm of godly king and ranking within the top 10 in sins in the land of origin, simply could not die. You should know that like the founder of the Heart Shadow sect and the third-generation spiritual masters from the Duandong River lineage, many ordinary godly kings have already died over the long course of time. Of course, they might have also been reincarnated. No wonder many ancient beings create a stir or even commit towering crimes and still manage to live well. As Luo Feng's strength gradually approached that level, he understood just how troublesome those opponents were. For example, he himself was difficult to deal with. Each of his avatars was formidable, especially the one in Chu capital. With his master garrisoning Chu capital, it was incredibly difficult for enemies to kill that particular avatar. If not all the avatars are destroyed, one could easily cultivate back to full strength. Chu capital, as one of the immensely bustling great cities at the forefront of the land of origin, is home to godly kings and many from the Primal Chaos Realm. Emperor Chu himself presided over it, and no other power dared to create disturbances here. In the land of origin, many great clans have established their family branches here. Many independent eternal true gods also come here in search of opportunities. Yu Yi, known for his mastery of musical illusion techniques, was among them. "Gentlemen, I have a way to lead you all to become disciples under Marquis Chu Chang," spoke one of the eternal true gods, a black-scale eternal true god, within a common tavern as a group of eternal true gods gathered. Marquis Chu Chang is one of the 7 first-rank marquises. Even if we become his disciples, we'll just be servants. The other eternal true gods were not so easily persuaded by a few words. The primordial ancestor's illusionary avatar was also among them. His illusionary avatar could change into different appearances. Currently, he maintained 9 different illusionary avatars, living within Chu capital under 9 identities. These 9 illusionary avatars could join ordinary forces as a backbone, manage businesses, blend into groups as independent cultivators, or join covert operations as peripheral members. His illusionary avatar was also a real physical body, indistinguishable on the surface, and possessed about 30% of the true body's strength. Initially, figures like Marquis Chu Ji, Marquis Chu Yuan, and 3 other pinnacles of Primal Chaos Realm failed to recognize that it was merely an avatar. Unless they came into contact with a godly king-level being, it was almost impossible for it to be exposed. Primordial Chi, haven't you always wanted a godly king-level inheritance in the illusion technique lineage? It's very difficult for us eternal true gods to obtain a godly king-level inheritance. But if Marquis Chu Chang is willing, he could easily bestow a godly king-level inheritance, one eternal true god said to the primordial ancestor with a smile. Even if we follow Marquis Chu Chang, we'd likely need to establish enough merit before being granted a godly king-level inheritance, the primordial ancestor's illusionary avatar worriedly said. We fear that even after following for tens of thousands of years, we still might not receive the inheritance. As long as we follow Marquis Chu Chang, he'll immediately grant the godly king-level inheritance. I'm willing to follow him now. I'm willing too. As long as there's an inheritance, we naturally will follow, said the eternal true gods, including the primordial ancestor. Although Marquis Chu Chang recruits subordinates, to think of obtaining a godly king-level inheritance just after joining? The black-scale eternal true god shook his head slightly. That's a bit delusional. Marquis Chu Chang's recruitment of subordinates must be related to the competition among the first-rank marquises, said another eternal true god. I heard that the first-rank marquises have been fiercely competing recently, each bringing a group of subordinates for training, and many subordinates have died. I also heard that besides bringing subordinates for training, they even invited those who have transcended the Primal Chaos Realm to fight over the Blood Spirit Golden Pearl. Desert Wind City Lord, Great Saint Bai Yun, Great Saint Luo He, Great Saint Yen Su, and Lord of Yuan Xiao Mansion, a total of 5 who have transcended the Primal Chaos Realm, fought fiercely over the Blood Spirit Golden Pearl. They fought, all because of our Emperor Chu's lineage of 7 first-rank marquises. The group of independent eternal true gods became excited as they discussed those who had transcended the Primal Chaos Realm. As they sought opportunities in Chu capital, naturally they eyed the forces of godly kings, followed by those under the brand of transcended from the Primal Chaos Realm, and then the royal family's first-rank marquises. It said that in this competition, Great Saint Bai Yun was most formidable, followed by Desert Wind City Lord, Great Saint Luo He and Great Saint Yen Su were more or less equal, with Lord of Yuan Xiao Mansion ranking the last. I also heard that Desert Wind City Lord and Great Saint Luo He clashed head-on. Both are experts in physical strength, and every movement they made was said to be devastating. Yet both are still inferior to Great Saint Bai Yun. These independent eternal true gods, most passionate about collecting information on various formidable beings, discussing whether such information was true or false while drinking and animatedly talking. The primordial ancestor's illusionary avatar joined in happily, praising Great Saint Luo He at one moment, and extolling Great Saint Bai Yun the next. After Luo Feng achieved the triunity form, he naturally transformed, reaching a new level of strength. Among those in the first realm of Godly King, he was considered extremely strong. All 5 branches have reached the pinnacle of Primal Chaos Realm. Luo Feng looked towards the tranquil blood spirit star in the distance. Being in the primordial crystal spirit fruit-induced state, initially the heaven-splitting lineage and dark heaven lineage had peaked in the Primal Chaos Realm. Now that Morosa had reached the Godly King level, Luo Feng could witness the complete materialization of the heaven-splitting and dark heaven branches, naturally progressing very rapidly. Both lineages thus naturally reached the pinnacle of Primal Chaos Realm. The gap between the pinnacle of Primal Chaos Realm and the Godly King is very big. With the detailed inheritances of the 8 Tribulations Life Form First Calamity and the Extermination of 72 Blades First Volume, Luo Feng understood clearly what path he should take next. This is the advantage of inheritance. Inheritance could guide Luo Feng. It divided the path to breakthroughs into several steps. Step by step, he would deepen his accumulation until one day he would become a godly king. Cultivating some powerful secret techniques, or even creating some powerful secret techniques, can make the accumulation even deeper, Luo Feng thought. Secret techniques are the key to practice. With the mysteries of the pinnacle of Primal Chaos Realm, cultivating a variety of secret techniques. Figures like Lord of Yuan Xiao Mansion and Great Saint by Yuan even cultivated highly powerful primordial secret methods, achieving the power of those who transcend the Primal Chaos Realm. Their realm accumulations were naturally also deeper. Like Luo Feng, who could conceive moves comparable to those of a godly king such as the Triunity form, naturally had a deeper understanding of life spirituality and the body of life. The only method to become a godly king is to slowly accumulate. Luo Feng knew it couldn't be rushed. In the blink of an eye, nearly half a century had gone by since the first eruption of Blood Spirit Star. The long silent Blood Spirit Star had accumulated energy once again reaching some sort of threshold, beginning to boil anew, its surface rolling with liquid flames. Ha ha, it's entering the eruption period again, declared the massive city lord of Desert Wind, who had long arrived near the Blood Spirit Star. At this moment he stood on all fours, the surrounding desert wind spreading out. The struggle for it begins anew, Lord Yuan Xiao observed from a distance. While they fight over it, I might seize the chance to snare a few. Lord Yuan Xiao had no intention of getting too close. It was too risky and not worth it. Meanwhile, the clouds in the sky were also watching Blood Spirit Star. Great Saint Bai Yun was equally prepared to make his move at any moment. It's starting, Yen Su, hidden in the void, said leisurely as he watched Blood Spirit Star, his expression suddenly changing. For a figure had directly approached near Blood Spirit Star, it was Luo Feng. Blood Spirit Star was suspended, with the city lord of Desert Wind and Luo Feng on its either side, respectively. Luo He? You come to contend with me as soon as you arrive. The city lord of Desert Wind's eyes flashed fiercely. In terms of physical body, this great Saint Luo He was comparable to him, and his vast galaxy could even suppress his Desert Wind domain. Good, we failed to determine the victor last time. This time let us battle properly. I've even prepared some gifts for you. Luo Feng glanced at the city lord of Desert Wind. Without uttering a single word himself, the city lord of Desert Wind's eyes were filled with fierce light, and an intangible murderous intent darkened the surrounding heaven and earth slightly. The Transcendents of the Primal Chaos Realm and cultivating the primordial bloodline all have such fierce temperaments, huh? Luo Feng quietly shook his head. In Thunder Ancient Country, cultivating the primordial bloodline leads to ferocity, which already was a fairly good result. Great Saint Yen Su, the city lord of Desert Wind said, staring at Luo Feng. You and this Luo He have some old grudges. From what I see, the two of us working together could ensure Luo Feng doesn't get a single blood spirit golden pearl. Good. The shadowy figure of General Yen Su appeared as he nodded leisurely. A fine proposal, city lord of Desert Wind. Yen Su was always so direct. Once enmities were established, there was no need to hold back anymore. The two of you joining forces? Luo Feng looked at the city lord of Desert Wind and Great Saint Yen Su. During the last clash, each transcendent of the Primal Chaos Realm fought individually. There had been no alliances. Once they deliberately teamed up, perfectly coordinating their efforts, the threat posed by Great Saint Yen Su and the city lord of Desert Wind would greatly increase. Yen Su, we are all members of Flame Wind Ancient Country. You plan to collaborate with the city lord of Desert Wind from Thunder Ancient Country? From a distant place, Lord Yuan Xiao spoke up, his voice echoing in the heaven and earth. Ah, Yuan Xiao, you're mistaken, said Yen Su leisurely. We are merely guest elders at Flame Wind Ancient Country. The ancient country has never treated guest elders as full members. Even you, Yuan Xiao, as the direct disciple of the sovereign of Wanjie Kingdom, are probably considered more a member of the Wanjie Kingdom by Flame Wind Ancient Country. Lord Yuan Xiao gently shook his head. Moreover, Flame Wind Ancient Country has never restricted whom guest elders associate with, nor has it prevented them from making enemies. Guest elders killing each other, Flame Wind Ancient Country does not care about that, Yen Su continued. Well said, Luo Feng nodded in agreement. Yen Su glanced at Luo Feng surprised, and Great Saint Bai Yun, merged with the heaven and earth, was also surprised by Luo Feng's response. Guest elders slicing each other's throats, Flame Wind Ancient Country indeed doesn't care, Luo Feng nodded. Many godly kings from the land of origin had been guest elders at Flame Wind Ancient Country. Weren't they all fighting and battling just the same? It seems Brother Luo He understands my point, Yen Su nodded. Brother Luo He, you should see the situation clearly now, forget about the blood spirit golden pearls. Buzz. The immense blood spirit stars boiling intensified, and the liquid flames surged and splashed, a scene that caught the attention of all transcended beings of the Primal Chaos Realm. The blood spirit golden pearls are about to erupt. City Lord of Desert Wind, you and I should join forces to push him back quickly, Yen Su said. As long as they could drive Luo Feng away, given the primitive methods Luo Feng had shown the last time when capturing the blood spirit golden pearls, he probably would be able to get even one. Good. The city lord of Desert Wind nodded and instantly pulled out the chains he carried on his back, throwing them towards Luo Feng. The chains, once thrown, transformed into numerous black serpents, terrifying in their might. Luo Feng watched the scene. Now he could naturally control the extensive domain around him, which was also an exceedingly terrifying natural feature of his physical body, known as realm domain. At this moment, with a mere thought, fully 30 billion black rivers instantly merged into the realm domain. Within the vast expanse all around, a dark world suddenly materialized, its world membrane incredibly thick, formed from the cohesion of 30 billion black rivers. The dark world trapped everything within. What's happening? Lord Yuan exclaimed, astonished as the world darkened around him, a dark world enveloping everything, effectively sealing it off. This is a world far more vast than my dark mansion. What is this? Yuan, merged with the heaven and earth, also found himself trapped. An absolute separation of interior and exterior worlds? This is a complete world. Just as the city lord of Desert Wind had thrown the chains to confront Luo Feng, he was momentarily stunned, watching the vast dark world. The world was too expansive, and its aura was so thick that even he felt somewhat fearful. I can no longer feel the outside void. Great Saint Yen Su too gazed in shock at the scene. This dark world completely blocked off the inside from the outside, even partially obstructing causality, showing its powerful sealing capability. In the center of the dark world, Luo Feng stood there, his aura no longer contained, boldly emanating. His terrifying physical body's presence already affected the surrounding heaven and earth, causing the supreme rules to withdraw. Such a fearsome presence caused tremors in the hearts of all transcendent beings present in the Primal Chaos Realm. SwallowedStar 2, Land of Origin. Chapter 152, Episode 3, Chapter 35. Inconceivable Strength. The vast and boundless dark world, covering billions of kilometers, this dark world contained operating laws, and the core of these worlds' operating laws was that central figure standing there, Luo Feng. Physical body affects heaven and earth, and the supreme rules give way? Yen Su trembled at the sight. This is the realm of the cosmic body, where the physical body is like a complete universe. Even for a godly king, very few can reach this realm. The Two-Realm Palace, oh the Two-Realm Palace, you have made me suffer. Offending a Transcendents of Primal Chaos Realm, Yen Su didn't care. Under normal circumstances, it was incredibly difficult for a Transcendents of Primal Chaos Realm to advance further. Who would have thought that Luo He, in less than half a period of time, would have such a drastic improvement in strength? His strength has broken through. Yuan, the great saint who merged with heaven and earth, was also secretly shocked. This complete dark world revolves around him, supporting a world with his own power. At this moment, Yuan, the great saint Yen Su, the lord of Desert Wind City, and the lord of Yuanxiu Mansion all felt tremendous pressure. My lords. Luo Feng stood there, his eyes sweeping across all directions. Blood, spirit, golden pearls, all shall be mine. Do any of you have objections? All for you? The gray shadow Yen Su spoke deeply from a distance. None of us four get even one, and you want to monopolize them all? Yen Su was well aware that he had already offended Luo He and could only think of ways to team up with other Transcendences of Primal Chaos Realm. Only when several Transcendences of Primal Chaos Realm joined forces could they even think of challenging Luo He. All for you? A figure of a woman in green appeared in the sky, her presence full of endless sharpness, as if she could tear the heavens and the earth apart. She looked at Luo Feng. Brother Luo He wanting to monopolize them all, isn't that a bit too much to ask for? The lord of Desert Wind City huffed angrily, the breath from his nostrils stirring up a terrifying current as he glared at Luo Feng. No matter what, you're just a Transcendence of Primal Chaos Realm. Do you really think you can overpower the four of us with your own strength? I would like to see just how strong you Luo He truly are. At the first realm of Godly King, wielding multiple branches of the Tao and then cultivating either primordial bloodline or primordial secret method to the most terrifying level, one could indeed transcend ranks and battle against those in the second realm of Godly King. But the upper limit for a Transcendence of Primal Chaos Realm was much lower, as they had not mastered any branches of the Tao. Yuan, the great saint Yen Su, and the lord of Desert Wind City were unwilling to give up easily. I have no objections. The lord of Yuanxiu Mansion said with a smile from afar. First, congratulations to brother Luo He on your breakthrough. I have no desire to fight for the blood spirit golden pearls, brother Luo He. Could you please send me out first? A few pearls were not worth dying for. Getting involved in the fight and causing his true body to die would be a significant loss. His dark mansion had integrated many primordial materials for him to cultivate to this stage. Yuanxiu, are you actually so cowardly? Yen Su scoffed coldly. The four of us together, are we afraid of him? I am not you. You have many avatars and do not care about losing a few. The lord of Yuanxiu Mansion replied. There is no need to mind Yuanxiu staying here, he's of no use. The lord of Desert Wind City remarked. Yuan, the great saint, watched the scene and could understand Yuanxiu's perspective. The reason the three of them dared to stay was that they all had something to rely on. In comparison, Yuanxiu was somewhat lacking. I will send brother Yuanxiu out first. Luo Feng had no conflict with Yuanxiu, and since the lord of Yuanxiu Mansion took the initiative to step back, Luo Feng naturally took the initiative to maneuver the power of the dark world to wrap around the lord of Yuanxiu Mansion and send him out. The lord of Yuanxiu Mansion was moved to the very edge of the dark world, touching the world's membrane, then completely disappeared. The lord of Yuanxiu Mansion stood outside, looking at the immensely huge dark world. Bai Yun, the Great Saint, and the Lord of Desert Wind City are both leading figures among the Transcendences of Primal Chaos Realm. Yen Su especially has incredible survival abilities. The Lord of Yuan Mansion shook his head, but I cannot afford to die. If he died once, the dark mansion inside him would have to repurchase primordial materials and integrate them again. The most direct way for me to increase my strength is to become a godly king. Once I master a branch of the Tao, my dark mansion will naturally undergo a transformation. Lord Yuan Mansion thought. He had been accumulating for long years, but breaking through the bottleneck to become a godly king was still challenging. Every transcendence of Primal Chaos Realm longs to become a godly king. Observe the battle first. The Lord of Yuan Mansion thought no further. Within the vast dark world, 3 transcendences of Primal Chaos Realm were positioned in different locations, all observing Luo Feng. Luo Feng had not fully revealed his strength after his breakthrough, and the outside world knew nothing about him. Since you all wish to fight for the Blood Spirit Golden Pearls, then we can only battle it out. Luo Feng said with a smile. Boom. From Luo Feng as the center, a mighty black river spread out, sweeping across heaven and earth. And from the membrane of the dark world as well, black rivers flowed out, while the entire dark world itself was contracting. Luo Feng had previously displayed a super large dark world to trap the enemies within. Brother Luo what is this world called? Bai Yun, the Great Saint in green clothes, still asked with interest. Black River World, Luo Feng said with a smile. Black River? Bai Yun, the Great Saint, looked at the mighty black rivers spreading far and wide and nodded leisurely. The surging black river is indeed formidable. The surging black rivers instantly submerged Bai Yun, the Great Saint, and she disappeared without a trace. The figure she displayed was only an avatar formed by the condensation of power. Her true body had always been merged with heaven and earth. Swoosh. She released terrifying sharpness that rent the heavens and earth asunder, also ripping the rolling black rivers apart. But as the saying goes, when you draw your saber to stop water, the water flows even more, and the black river naturally merged and surged once again. Time after time, terrifying sharpness erupted, immensely powerful, opening up parts of the river time and time again. Yet even more black river water spread, making Bai Yun the Great Saint's move seem powerless. My heaven-cutting sword technique, it can't even shake him? Bai Yun the Great Saint was shocked beyond measure. She had practiced the primordial secret technique, heaven-cutting sword technique, and her master, Emperor Qin, personally forged a godly king weapon for her, the heaven-cutting sword. With this most suitable godly king weapon, her unleashed power became even more terrifying. But now, her matchless heaven-cutting sword technique, which repeatedly severed the black river water, could only cut through a small part of the endless black river. I've unleashed my full strength, attacking with my sword 13 times in a row, which has depleted 30% of my divine power reserve. Yet, the might of Luo He's black river remains almost unchanged? In a head-on clash, he must be considered the pinnacle among those who have transcended the Primal Chaos Realm. Bai Yun, the Great Saint, thought in shock. Kill, kill, kill. Huang Feng, the city lord, wielding his twin spears, burst with surging energy as he attempted to charge towards Luo Feng's true body. However, the endless black river engulfed him. He seemed to be mired in a swamp, surrounded by the black river. With every slap of the black river, Huang Feng stumbled back, unable to approach Luo Feng and even retreating further. Boom, boom, boom. The black river raged, sweeping Huang Feng along in its turbulent waves, leaving him with no control over his movements. How can he be this strong? Huang Feng could hardly believe it. Can those who have transcended the Primal Chaos Realm truly be this powerful? Yen Su, the shadowy gray figure, was utterly astounded as the black river enveloped everywhere, naturally including him. The river's relentless force instantly shattered this one of his avatars. Thump, thump, thump. All ordinary avatars hidden by Yen Su were wiped out, leaving only a powerful avatar that could barely manage to survive by dissipating most of the might of the black river. There's no way to fight, the gap is too big, said the powerful avatar of the gray shadow Yen Su. Its body turned ethereal, shedding most of the impact as it moved time and again to dodge the strikes of the black river. When Luo Feng controlled the billions of black rivers, he could only use the most basic tactics of assault, slapping and sweeping. Yet even these simplest moves, when carried out by the endless black river, made those transcended in the Primal Chaos Realm feel powerless. This Bai Yun, the Great Saint, is quite formidable, being able to obliterate 3 of my black rivers? Luo Feng was somewhat surprised, but within the Star Tower, he casually created 3 more black rivers to replenish them. The Great Saint Bai Yun is terrifyingly powerful, but it seems that her godly body is rather ordinary. After just a short confrontation, her divine power reserve has already been significantly depleted, Luo Feng observed. The Great Saint Bai Yun had a fearsome attack and was adept at evasion, but her body was rather weak. Huang Feng, the city lord, relied entirely on his physical body's explosive force. Though his attacks were slightly inferior, his body was much stronger. Luo Feng's raging black river, despite engulfing Huang Feng, the city lord, could not injure him in the slightest. As for Yen Su, his clone technique was rather special, yet his strength was not as formidable as the other 2. Die. Luo Feng looked toward the distant Yen Su, and suddenly several black rivers transformed into streams of blade light. 300,000 streams of blade light erupted simultaneously, all executing Luo Feng's simplified move, Blade River Slash. Having reached the pinnacle of primal chaos in both the heaven-splitting lineage and the dark heaven lineage, and having long studied the first volume of Extermination of 72 Blades, LuoFeng's expertise in blade techniques was naturally profound. The 300,000 blade lights executing Blade River Slash were not his limit. While using the surging Black River to sweep at the other two foes, he had 300,000 blade lights pursue Yansu. Wherever the 300,000 Black River blade lights swept through, all layers of space were annihilated, and even the membrane walls of the braided cage world began to show slivers of fissures. Beyond those fissures lay a greater terror. This. Yansu watched as fine cracks began to appear in the prison's membranous wall, at least dozens of thin fissures visible at a glance, sending shivers down his spine. This was the world fracture of the braided cage world. Under such a formidable force, unless one could reach the apex of insubstantiality and merge with the world membrane, there would be no escape. Two-Realm Palace, you've really put me through hell, lamented Yansu as the terrifying might of 300,000 blade lights devoured him, and even though his body possessed the ability to phase into insubstantiality, even after reducing their might by 70 to 80%, his body was still annihilated without a trace. To trap an enemy within the world, the Black River domain, and even 300,000 blade lights can break through the world's fissures? Bai Yuan, the great saint, witnessing this scene, had no more desire to fight. Among those who have transcended the Primal Chaos Realm in the land of origin, this Luo he must be the foremost. Only a few who have transcended the Primal Chaos Realm rank ahead, each stronger than Bai Yuan, the great saint, and each one rather unique. Some have mastered the primordial secret method of the time primordial Tao. Others have just grasped the basics of the infinite primordial body. Yet none gave off such a terrifying sense of oppression as Luo He. Worlds, domains, slaughter. Even the rules supreme seem to retreat in the face of Luo He's physical body. This opponent has no flaws at all, there's no way to fight against him. In an instant, Bai Yuan, the great saint, merged with the godly king weapon heaven-cutting sword, and launched a desperate attack. The first sword of endless edge pierced the membrane of the dark world, creating a hole by force. With this sword light he swiftly escaped. LuoFeng watched the scene unfold. My dark world membrane still cannot trap Bai Yuan. LuoFeng wasn't surprised. The world membrane was vastly dispersed, and the opponent had concentrated their power into one point. To completely trap an enemy was very difficult. Even the Lord of Yuan Shio Mansion, who practiced the Dark Mansion prison technique, could only temporarily confine an enemy who could still rush out again. To trap an enemy for even a few moments was already a rare feat. Yansu's strength is weaker, unable to break through my dark world. LuoFeng looked towards Huangfeng, the city lord, who was still frantically struggling within the roiling Black River. This Huangfeng city lord is strong-bodied indeed, but too foolish. Swept by the Black River, he cannot even touch the edges of my world. Beneath the rolling Black River, Huangfeng, the city lord, could hardly move voluntarily. Up till now he had not managed to touch the world's edge, nor could he touch LuoFeng's true body. Luo He. I admit you are stronger than me, bellowed Huangfeng, the city lord, but you still cannot harm me. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, as the blood spirit star erupted, the outpouring liquid flame contained 3 blood spirit golden pearls, naturally swept up by the black waters. Harm you? I want to see just how strong your primordial bloodline body really is, said LuoFeng as he gazed at him. After speaking with a single thought from LuoFeng, the Black River continued to roll and sweep over Huangfeng, the city lord, drawing him involuntarily closer to LuoFeng. His domain is too strong. Huangfeng, the city lord, watched helplessly as he was carried closer and closer to LuoFeng by the Black River. Even Bai Yuan, the great saint with his heaven-cutting sword, could only flee for his life. He must be considered the foremost in the Transcendents of Primal Chaos Realm in the land of origin. Nonetheless, I should have no problem preserving my life. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming great videos.